let's stop here. Any question about any things that we've announced? Any question that I can pass off to our panelists who've come with me today? Or any other subject you want to talk about? Nothing is off limits. Anybody has a question on anything else you'd like to ask me? Now that you have me where you want me, defenseless in front of the journalists. Yes.
Given the situation with state appropriations, do we have an estimate on whether or not tuition will increase again for next year?
We don't, because we are very determined to change that zero. If that zero remains a zero, we have about $5.5 million of fixed costs that we can't control. Even with our freezes and even with other things we put on, we certainly don't want to start to cut programs. We don't want to start laying off faculty members. But we have to pay the light bill, for example. Just simple things like that that we don't have an ability to change very much. Even there, we're trying to save. We're doing things with buildings and windows and automatic switches that turn off lights when people are not in the room. So you're beginning to see this being done building by building as we can afford it. But we'll have fixed costs will go up about $5.5 million. So instead of getting better, our goal has been, can't we just at least have as our goal to bring us back to where we were in 2008? Is that unreasonable to say we ought to try to play 5 years of catch up? And I even said, well, let's just do it over a 2 or 3 year period. Let's not ask the governor and the legislature to do it all at once. So the state regents for higher education have asked for a $90 million increase. That would bring us back to 2008. But if we could even get a $30 or $40 million increase, get back to 2008 over 2 or 3 years, that would greatly reduce the likelihood of the need for any increases in tuition fees. I can tell you we net about $1.5 million for every 1% increase in tuition and mandatory fees. So you can sort of see it for yourselves, and you can see why. Plus we have so many other problems. Our faculty in general are being paid 10 to 20% less than the current market. So that creates a big problem for us. And I meet, as you know, every 3 weeks with the executive committee of the Faculty Senate. So let's just assume that you're a new person with a new PhD and you're one of the best in your field. And when we hire you to get you to come to OU, we have to pay you a competitive salary, right? Because you're in the market, 4 other universities are after you, so we've got to pay you a competitive salary. Now the professor whose office is next door to you when you arrive has been at the university, let's say, 8 years, and for the last 3 to 4 years has had no salary increase because we've had to have a freeze on. So what happens? It's very possible, and in fact there are many situations at the university where you on your first day are making more in compensation than that teacher whose office is next door who's been here 5 or 6 or 7 years. That's called compression. Compression. In other words, we have to hire and recruit to get the best, and we want only the best. We're getting the best, by the way. Incredible people. I look at international studies or the honors college or other places. International studies is an example. We will have 200 and 300 applicants per opening, and we've gotten our first or second choice. Our first choice probably 80% of the time. But the problem is it creates a morale problem for the person that's been here doing their duty all this time. You know, so we're trying. You know, we need to find ways to at least get enough resources, even if we can't give general raises, to take care of the people who've been caught in this compression problem. They need to be brought back at least up with the person who's just been hired in their own field. So that's a problem. So it's not only covering our costs, it's trying to make sure that we do not demoralize and start to lose some of those mid-level faculty who've been here a long time doing a great job and are being paid less. So that's why zero is just, it's going to cause, zero is not flat. Zero is a cut, because it means we have no money to pay the fixed cost, that $5.5 million with. It means we have no money to do something about compression. It means the university falls back further unless more pressure is put on tuition fees. Now, we've been doing the best we can to raise money. We've raised another $25 million in the last 6 months, roughly 20 million, I guess, for scholarships from private donors. So we've been pushing very hard for scholarships to go up as fast as tuition fees go up. And it's just like a race to stay even. But something has to give, and as I say, we can't stop. We are disinvesting. When you have a zero, where you're not even covering your fixed cost, you are disinvesting in public higher education in the country, in the state. I mentioned we're 90 million below where we were in 2008 for higher education.